Like there's a part of me that's like longing and longing and longing, and like I think that experience is cool every once in a while. But to like live my whole life out and feel like I'm always longing is a lot for me, dude. I don't want to be a longer. I don't know. I can't get over the feeling like I'm missing something a lot of the time, and that kind of bums me out. I know with feelings like that, or really hard feelings that take a long time to resolve and kind of be smoothed over, like you have to give it time and you have to work on getting through it so that one day it'll get easier. I guess it's because I'm not good with endings. And I think that's where the longing comes in. That I think it's like easier. Some part of me thinks it's easier or more familiar or something to like long for something because I would rather not have it end. Like missing something is my attachment to the something. Even though I'm trying my best to be detached and I'm trying to be aware that it ends and all things end. Like even though I know I don't want to be like dragged by it, I still like I can't help it. Some part of me like can't let it go. And so there is like this logical process of like being like, okay, I'm gonna let it go, but like missing it and longing for it is also part of the letting go. And I'll get to the end and then I'll detach and it'll be done with. But I often want shortcuts to things. I wish I could kind of like go from missing someone or missing something or feeling that longing and just like jump cut to the end. I should not should, excuse me. I might like to reframe, rework my position on that feeling and kind of enjoy the process and like let myself feel and not like hold back. And then, obviously, if you do that, the the process will be a bit smoother, a bit easier, and I might even get to the end relatively quicker than the way I'm doing it now. That's like the answer right there. I don't know why that answer is like not good enough for me. I'm like, I need to figure out a different way. I need to figure out a different way to do things. I kind of don't want to do it the standard, assured, will work way. I want a different method. And I don't know why. I don't even think it's wrong or bad for me to want that. Like I feel like, if I want to learn a new way to do something, that's fine. But for some reason, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting caught up in my mind games again. I don't really know. I get caught up in my mind games a lot. I like mind games. I'm a nerd. I'm a little nerdy freak. I'm just in my head doing all the work, which is why I never feel like doing anything physically because I'm just sitting here in my head, in my mind all the time, just like up here, like doing my little calculations. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like doing that, but I know that like I want to be more present. I want to be physically here in the body. And I think that's where feeling helps because feeling is a physical sensation? It is integral to the physical experience. So, like, if that's what I want and that's what I want to do, then I should just like do it. I should sit here and feel and long for things and miss someone and like go through that. But on the topic of mind games, I think like on the surface, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna feel that feeling. And then I get lost in my head. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna feel this pain, I'm gonna feel this sadness, I'm gonna miss whatever it is I miss, long for it, and then hopefully let it go. And then somehow I just get caught up in my thoughts, like thinking about this person and that time I got hurt and this thing that didn't work out and this reason that I feel this way. It's such a bad habit at this point to contextualize all of my feelings. That's why I feel like talking helps. Because language is very physical. You know, physically you have to move your mouth to talk. Like your vocal cords have to vibrate to be able to produce the sounds that turn into words that you and I can understand. That you have to like use the body to produce the sound in order to communicate. Otherwise, we'd all be communicating telepathically. It would just be through our minds. Like language is one of my very favorite things. I love getting to analyze and understand language, and I think that plays a very important part in why people are people, I guess. But language is in a very cool way a dynamic system that is both physical and mental. We can speak and physically communicate words, but also you need to have an understanding of language in your brain to be able to do such a thing. Like if you don't understand language up here, it is much harder to communicate through the physical, which is why I think language is so cool. It's a couple hours later. As you can tell, it's much darker. Um, sorry about that. Also, Precious is sleeping in the back. When I get to talk out loud, not just in my head, because I'll have conversations in my head and honestly with other people of like, you know, like how you have like embarrassing situations or like just I don't know stuff that happened, stuff you were like upset about, and you're like, oh, I should have said this. I wish I did that. You know, so I do that in my head, and I will talk to people in my head. Um, Unrelated, but I thought I'd mention it. But that doesn't it does not feel as satisfying as when I actually talk out loud. When I'm saying stuff out loud, I don't know what kind of magic it is. I feel so much better, 10 times better than if I just was saying the same things to myself in my head. It just feels more real. It feels more comforting to me. I feel like I'm getting something done. I feel like I'm helping myself when I actually say the exact same words out loud, just like this, to you, to myself, instead of just having like a conversation in my head to myself. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And that talking out loud, getting to do it physically, using my vocal cords, using my throat and my throat chakra, and getting to like speak out loud, just that simple act, something that is so, I don't know, easy, something that is like so, you know, I don't know, maybe to most people, talking isn't like a very revolutionary thing in the sense like anyone can do it. You can just open your mouth and say whatever. But like for someone like me who was silenced for most of my life to just finally feel like I have a voice and then get to use it physically, very empowering, very, very powerful stuff for me. It helps me physically feel my own feelings, which I feel like is revolutionary. I feel like that's wild to me. That like just getting to do this very simple thing makes me feel actually 10 times better. It's wild. I like talking. I like talking out loud, and that really helps. But what I really realized is that I like getting to speak out loud and using I feel statements out loud to myself works wonders. Works wonders. I was having a hard time last night, you know, again, sad, missing people, longing this, longing that, feeling like I missed out in life or like I was regretting things, you know, feelings like that. If you can relate. I don't know. If you have a really put together solid life, good for you, honestly. Good for you. I am not in the slightest jealous. No, I'm kidding, rooting for you. But like using I feel statements and just continuously doing that, it opened something up for me. You know what I'm saying? It really did. Like, let me give you guys an example. I'm not gonna specifically do exactly what I did last night because I can't even remember. I can't even remember what exactly I did. But like if I'm gonna try to use only I feel statements for like the next, I don't know, 2 minutes or less. Okay. I feel like it really works for me. I feel like opening up and communicating with myself has really done wonders for me. It's really changed my life. I feel like talking out loud gives me more space and it creates space for me. I feel like it holds space for who I am and I make space. I'm sorry, I'm saying that a lot. And I make room for myself. I feel like I get to be more of myself when I use I feel statements. I feel like I'm thriving. I feel like I'm letting go. I feel like all of my emotions are getting to be expressed and they're coming out and they're not, you know, staying stagnant within my body. I feel like that's really helping and really working. And I feel like everyone should do more of it. I don't know. All right, that was my little example of using I feel statements. I'm sorry if that was repetitive or droning on. I don't know. I'm sorry. But I wanted to like use a very real time scenario or just show you what I mean because using again those I feel statements helped me a lot last night. And I actually did legitimately feel my feelings. I feel like I was more aware of and able to work through those feelings a lot more and a lot better because I was using those statements and because I was repeating I feel again and again and again in myself when I was saying that. So, like I said in the beginning, I was feeling really sad, hurting over this feeling. And I was like aware that I like worked through this or like I was working through it last night. But I have to again for myself practice using what is working for me again and again and again. I was contextualizing that whole event and I was like, yeah, the I feel statements work. Yeah, I felt better. Yeah, I was working through it. But I was like, I don't really feel like doing it again. Is it going to work for me? I feel like I did it once. What's it going to do for me again? And I was wrong. I was wrong. I'll admit it. You know what I'm saying? Even to myself, I was wrong. Because like I have to build that practice. I have to make it a habit because that is what did it for me. That's what worked. Using I feel statements last night and then getting to use them again today, it boosted the whole thing. It made the process easier. And then I was actually very present in myself. Like I'm still working on that. I'm still working on that feeling because my head, again, always in my head, but like I think too much and I'm picking up on too many things and it's hard to like keep my focus in one place at one time. Not in the sense that like my focus is very discombobulated, but like also that I feel like it is necessary for me to pay attention to at least three or four things at all times just for like basic safety reasons. You know, my trauma response is kicking in, survival mode is going hard, it's going full mode. It's going full mode, but like I got to practice it again with you guys and that helped. It helped me, you know what I'm saying, it helped me. So I guess that's the whole video. I don't know, I feel a bit better now. I feel like that comes across too. I'm a little bit more bubbly, a little bit more upbeat, I feel. Who knows what'll happen after I turn this camera off, but it feels, even these small little wins where I have like these pockets of time, little moments in time where I'm like, yeah, I feel better. I feel like that actually worked. I feel like something I did for myself actually worked. So that's all. That's all I wanted to ramble on about. That was my whole spiel. um, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys so much. Hope you all had a great day. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. It's hard out there. I love you all. Peace, guys. See y'all later. Outro? No outro? Nah, not today. Okay, bye everyone.